Hey yo, what is up? This is the best glass pad that I have ever tried, and in today's video I will tell you why. This is the Tenta-X Cataclysm glass pad, and not only that, I have other goodies as well, which is the Scyrox V6, which I will unbox today with you guys. And there is one more extra package which is kind of surprising. Don't laugh. Yes, it is kind of like an anime kind of mouse pad, but this mouse pad is going to surprise you in a minute. But let's first go ahead and talk about the Tenta-X glass pad. This is Tenta-X first foray into glass pad actually. As you guys might have known, they were quite popular because of their last stand hybrid weave pad, and that was kind of like a control balance pad, and they had also like a kind of like a zero pad which was Octo Sense or Octo Grip, and this is their first attempt at making a glass pad, and let's take a look at it. Let me just show you. It looks kind of sick actually. So anyway, it comes in a hard box and well protected, and at the back there is some it is rubber coated at the back, and you got to peel it off, like, you know, it comes with a protection. You peel it off, and this thing sticks to your desk without any problem. This is apparently a control glass pad, I would say. This is according to them. Why is this the best glass pad that I've ever tried ever? That's because this is the only glass pad that I have ever tried ever. And my first experience with glass pad is on the Tenta-X Cataclysm, and I am actually kind of blown away because I'm not a glass pad enjoyer. Glass pads nowadays, a lot of people are into them. They got really nice surface. This has a pretty smooth surface, but I think you will have a better experience if you are in a less humid kind of place. As you can see, my hand is kind of like dragging along, bouncing along as I drag my wrist over it. That's because I am in 71% humidity indoors and about 90% outdoors, so I'm living in quite a humid place. The temperature is about 31-32 degrees, so for me, I think I would benefit more if I used some kind of performance sleeve, some kind of gaming sleeve. That would be good for me. But I tried this pad out for, I don't know how many months I've had it now, but I tried it with different kinds of skates. These are the original Obsidians, and they work really well. They do make a little bit of a sound with the black Obsidians, but with the other Obsidian, the red Obsidian, it is kind of silent actually. This is a lot quieter, and I suppose there's a bunch of other kind of dots out there that you can use that will make this pad completely silent. And I'm talking about, of course, the Jade Airs, the Obsidian Airs, or whatever you call them. I've never had a chance to try them out, but I suppose those will be almost completely silent, and they will probably work a lot better. I did try them with the Tenta-X skates, but unfortunately those Tenta-X skates, they use exotic materials like nylon 66 or I can't remember the other names, but they were pretty loud and I wouldn't recommend them. The silent ones are the Obsidian Reds, the Obsidian Blacks, and even the stock PTFE skates work really well. In fact, the stock PTFE skates seem to be the most quietest one. This one is of course on the Realm ES21 Pro. These are thick, fat skates. So if you have similar skates like on the OP1WE thick, fat PTFE skates, I think they will perform similarly. It's going to be pretty silent. Even if you press hard down on it, that's hard pressing down. If I'm gliding quietly, softly, it is pretty silent. On the Obsidian Reds, also pretty quiet. That's pretty good. And then on the Obsidian Blacks, which is my preferred skates right now, for the glass pad, even though it's making a little bit more audible sound. But for me, I feel like the feedback that I get, the abrasiveness that I'm getting a nicer feeling. I prefer to have a little bit of abrasiveness on the pad, and I can feel like I'm moving something, if that makes sense to you. But again, if you want silent, just go for PTFE, or maybe the Obsidian Reds, or maybe one of the newer ones. But anyway, that is my impression on the Tenta-X Cataclysm. Really nice color, really nice design. It's something different. This is something I can get behind. This is pretty cool. I like it. Next up, we're gonna do the Scyrox V6 unbox. I got this a couple of days ago. I did take a peek at it, but I also wanted to show you guys what it looks like. The unbox is almost exactly like the V6 unbox, the same packaging. We'll remove that, lift it up, and there you go. This is the Scyrox V6, and it is eerily similar to the HitScan Hyperlight. In my opinion, the Scyrox is a little bit taller. It is taller actually by 1 or 2 millimeters, but in the hand feels almost the same. The waist is more narrow than the HitScan. I can do the customary measurements for you just so that you have a little bit of idea. It's 55 millimeters at the sensor, while on the HitScan I think it's 56 if I last remembered. Yeah, 56, 57. Yeah, so 56 would be on the HitScan right there, and on the Scyrox is 55. Let's measure it again just to prove it. There you go. Now as for the height, I mentioned it was a little bit taller, so let's do that for you guys and give you a measurement. It's 40.25 at the highest point, and then on the HitScan it is I think 39 or 38. Yeah, it's 38. So just 1-2 millimeters taller, but overall you're getting the same shape, the same feel. So 2 millimeters taller and a slightly smaller waist, but the silhouette is a HitScan. You're getting almost the exact same kind of, just a little bit variable on that shape of that HitScan. The triggers are 19 millimeters. The HitScan, if I'm not mistaken, was 17. Yep, so you're getting 17 trigger height, which is lower than an OP1WE, by the way. And then on the HitScan you're getting about 18, 19, so about just a little bit, just a smidgen taller than an OP1WE trigger height. Now in terms of the quality of the mouse itself, it is very solid. Now if I force it, I can push the sides in. If I press it really hard, I'm pressing really hard, I can feel a little bit of flex. But if I press on the HitScan, there is absolutely no flex, even when I put the same amount of force into the Scyrox. But in game, it doesn't, you're not going to feel, if you're holding it like that, it's not going to flex when you press down on it. So don't worry about that. Other than that, the build quality is superior to the Scyrox V8. If you recall, the Scyrox V8 had that a little bit of that. Some people complained about that wobbly M1 and M2. You can see it kind of moving a little bit there. On the V6, you're not going to get that. Well, it looks like it's moving, but it is pretty solid if you try to move it independently. But I wouldn't say that is any kind of an issue. I don't feel like it is worse. This one I can feel is a little bit looser, while the V6 feels a lot more solid. I would compare it to the HitScan kind of feel. Like I mentioned, in the hand it feels like a hit scan, slightly thinner on the grip, but essentially it is almost like a hit scan with a slightly higher hump. And the triggers are Omron Opticals, they are excellent. It looks like the trigger height is also, the sensor height is also kind of higher, same like just like the hit scan. It is positioned at a higher position, taller compared to an ATK F1, for example. The hit scan feels a lot flatter on the sides, while the Scyrox V6 you will feel that you have a smaller grip and a nicer waist. And even on the backside, although it kind of looks the same here, but it is a little bit more bulbous over here as compared to the hit scan, which is a little bit more pointed like a Ninjutsu Sora, right? So when you put it in your palm, this area here will not contact so much unless you have like a really small hand. But on the Scyrox V6, you're gonna feel it a little bit more here because of that slightly wider butt cheeks, you could call it. So it is in my opinion, I feel it is a slightly smidgen bigger version of the hit scan. And if I'm being honest, this size actually kind of suits me better. Now, if I compare that with a Maya, I'm sure a lot of people are interested in Maya as well. The Maya is straight up a bigger mouse than the Scyrox V6. You can feel it immediately in your hand. I would never compare the Maya with the Scyrox V6. When I talk about the Maya X, I always compare it to something like the Viper V3 Pro. That's more like a medium to a large mouse. While the Scyrox is more of a medium small mouse, just like the hit scan, kind of like a medium to small mouse. So that is my first impression of the Scyrox. The build quality is amazing. It already comes with the feet installed, which I prefer over installing it yourself. I prefer it already installed in the factory. If I don't like it, I'll just rip it off. I haven't checked inside the box to see if there's extra feet or not, but I'm just gonna assume that there's probably one full feet for the top front as well, but I'm not too sure. I haven't looked inside yet. In the hand, again, I have 21 by 12 hands, so I feel like the Scyrox is actually a better fit for me than the hit scan. In terms of build quality, I feel the Scyrox has almost the same build quality as the hit scan, but I do feel that the hit scan is a little bit more solid just because of that, pressing this part here and pressing this part here, you could feel here a little bit more flex, a little bit more movement than the hit scan. Hit scan has absolutely no movement at all. So that's the Scyrox V6. My initial impression, it looks really nice. It feels really nice in my hand. Again, I have 21 by 12 hands. It feels really nice in my 21 by 12 hands. In fact, compared with the ES21 Pro, it is not much smaller than the ES21 Pro. Now, the ES21 Pro is a Maya X inspired shape, very similar to the Maya X. But again, the Maya X again is just a smidgen, just a little bit. It's a little bit wider at the side, so it feels like it is a bigger mouse. But you know what I mean? The ES21 Pro is just a little bit bigger than the Scyrox, but the Scyrox has a taller top, so it kind of feels like you've got nice contact here and you've got some contact here for my hand. That's how big my hand is, but even I can use it. So I actually am looking forward to this shape. I think I'm going to enjoy it a lot. Right off my initial impression, I prefer it more than the Scyrox, even though the Scyrox also supports a lot of the back of my palm because of its really bulbous rear and high rear. I still feel the Scyrox V6 is a lot better. My initial impression is I would prefer the V6 over the Scyrox. But I know some people will really like the Scyrox more, because if you're like a hardcore claw gripper, I think you would like the Scyrox a little bit more. But if you're like a relaxed claw gripper, maybe the V6 will be more comfortable for you. For me, I feel the V6 is more a better fit for me. That's my 2 cents. But anyway, let's put this all away. And now we talk about this pad, which is a strange looking, looks like kind of like AI art pad with words that don't really make a lot of sense. I don't know why they would put these words out here. Good luck, happy holiday, love and power, meet again. When this company approached me to review their pad, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really sure, but it was quirky enough. I picked it up just because of the art, just to have a look at it, just to be curious, you know what I mean? I could have said no, but I decided to say yes, just to check it out. You know, if I didn't like it, I didn't have to make a video, right? So just check it out, let's see what it's about, and let me tell you, this is the biggest surprise ever. Check out that base. It is super squishy and soft. This is definitely, to me, this is an X soft. Maybe to some people this is a soft, but this is an X soft. To me, this is not like a pour-on, but it does feel very much like a pour-on, but I don't think it is. Now what is special is not the base, although the base is, you know, it looks absolutely amazing. Check it out, it's shimmering in the light, it looks amazing, it feels amazing, but that's not the top, that's not the best part about this pad. This pad has kind of like a felt surface. I don't know if I can show it, if it shows up in the camera, but the material that you are looking at is not like a regular cloth pad or a regular mouse pad that I have ever played on ever, and I've played on a lot of mouse pads. This mouse pad is very unique. Now if they made this pad in a solid color or a different design other than this, I think it would be even more popular. I don't think it's very popular now because a lot of people, you know, won't agree with the art or the font or the style of the art, but the surface on this thing is absolutely amazing. It is smooth, but it is not like super fast. As you can see, I'm doing the twirl just to show you a rough idea. It's kind of fast, but it's not super fast. These are obsidian dots, so there is some speed to it, but not super fast. I would say this would be a balance pad. This is full skates, by the way, full skates, and then we have the black obsidian dots. So in the hand, while I'm sliding and while I'm flicking and tracking, it looks kind of good actually. I dig it. It feels good, it looks good. I'm gonna definitely keep this pad on my main rotation, even though I'm not very agreeable with the art, the style, but this surface is something different, and well, it's not felt, but you know, it has a little bit of that felt feeling, and I really like it. I don't know why, but I do like it. And I'm going to keep it on, and I'm going to use it for a period of time and then come up with a proper opinion later on. Anyway, that's my video for today. This is by Owepowe. Owepowe, by the way. And they've got all kinds of designs that look like this. Picture of a girl. There's one with a skeleton on a toilet. And then there's a couple of girls with a side pose. There's just a face kind of art. There's no tits, no boobs, no ass. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video and took some useful information on the 3 products that I am unboxed and showing you today. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.